Hi folks, welcome back to the Addicted Bookworm. Alright, so yes, it is still Thursday and everything. So yeah, so I it's like there's enough light coming in that I could actually sit down and get back to reading this book. I'm reading this entirely as a physical edition. So over a week ago, I finished chapter 17 and did not come back to the book, mainly because I was just way too exhausted. This also is affecting my ability to actually write my book because I am so exhausted, or my brain's just not there to do it. And it has to be there to do it for me to be able to write decently. Decently. But everyone knows I've been reading on my Kindle because it is a much more convenient. I've also been back reading on my Kobo because I have 5 library books that, like, I just started reading book 2, and yeah. All right. So at the very end of this video, I am going. Did I already say that? Did I mention that? Yeah, I'll just do it. So, yeah. So, yeah, let me think. Did I already do? Never mind. I'm not going to do it because I'm afraid I might inadvertently repeat myself, and I do not want to repeat myself. So, over a week ago, I finished chapter 17 of The Great Hunt. I'm now on chapter 21. I would read more, but I gotta be at work at 6, and I kind of know myself. If I go back to reading more of this book, I'm probably going to end up, So, yeah, because I want to spend like an hour at work just reading my library books. So that's what I'm going to do. And for people that want to know, I am too damn freaking poor to afford to cut my hair. So have somebody cut my hair professionally. So I do it myself. All right. So after about a week and some days away from the book, I'm gonna say it's interesting how Rand, I think that's how you pronounce his name, got his hands on the horn. I have no clue, but for some unknown reason, he's being told, get rid of it, get rid of it. I'm thinking, isn't this horn sort of important? I don't know. It's like the dagger, isn't it sort of important? Anyways, I'm sure she has a reason why she wants Rand to get rid of it, but we'll find out, hopefully. I am enjoying this book. I am. I think this book is really good. A lot better than the first book. Definitely a lot better than the first book. And when I get home about, like, I'll probably get home like 10 something at night. I am going to read like 2 more chapters of this book, and then tomorrow when I wake up, I will go up to chapter 25. So I will have another video. I have not yet gotten back to Mort. I will be getting back to Mort this weekend. I'm going to read probably about 50 pages. No, I'm going to read probably about 100 pages, so that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, I'm going to do that. So, getting away from the book that I'm reading, for people who don't know, I have the Gate of the Pharaoh Gods, which is book number 4, I believe, book number 4 of Dungeon Crawling Carl. And for people that don't know, I'm trying to no longer get books on my Kindle. I mean, I'm at Kindle Unlimited. I could easily just borrow it from Kindle Unlimited and everything, but I decided, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So, for people that don't know, Matt Dittman did a deal with Libby to allow people to borrow the book without having to have Kindle Unlimited. I don't know what hoops he had to go through to get this done, but he did it. The only problem is, I can't read it on my Kobo. I can't, on that. However, there is a work around it. So I'm actually going to have to get my brother to kind of help me there if I don't. But basically, I have Adobe Digital something, which is what people that have like the Nook Glow Light 4 uses to borrow books from their library. So basically, what happens is, you can get the EPUB file and download it onto your Adobe, which is a free program, thankfully. And then what happens is you can have it added to your library, and then you can have it downloaded onto your like. The thing about it is I've never tried to use it on my Kobo. Never. I tried it on my Nook and it did not work. So what I'm actually going to do is, after I have finished book number 2 of the Rita Mae Brown Sticky Pie Brown book, I'm actually going to attempt to borrow The Gate of the Pharaoh Gods and see if I can download it onto my Kobo. And I know some people are going to say, that is Amazon's property. Why in the world are you doing this? And I'm thinking, okay, for people, I'll almost be very blunt about this, okay? My library has The Gate of the Pharaoh Gods. I don't know if I'm going to be able to borrow it, because it's a pretty popular series, but I'm going to attempt to do it. And I'm actually going to see if my Kobo will do the whole semantics and all that type of stuff with it. But if I'm able to succeed in doing that, then any book that the library has, like if I go on to like my Kobo and see if it's available, and if it's not available, like the way that most people get their library books to their Kobo, then I'm going to try that. So I'm going to do that and everything. But this is like the nightmare that's Amazon. And yes, I do publish books on Amazon because I want people to read my work. But when you're talking about a popular series like Dungeon Crawl and Carl, and even though the physical edition, you own it and everything, I just feel like that there is so many like hoops. So like, for example, I'm going to actually turn mine on, because let me take that. I'm going to see if, because I have a book, I have that like, what is it? Oh, I don't know what you call it, but let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Alright, so yeah, so apparently you can, they have it, but I can't believe that thing came out nearly 2 years ago. Oh wow. Wind and Truth. That is actually the that book. Yeah, that book is actually I believe that's the final book that I have of Brandon Sanderson, next to I think another one and everything. So, but when we talk about books that are controlled by Amazon, and then the author makes a deal with Libby to be able to allow people to borrow the book, they don't need a Kindle Unlimited subscription to be able to do it. It is like, oh wow, okay, then I can read it on my Kobo. And it's like, no, you have to go through the hoops to get it on your Kobo. And I'm kind of like, I'm not going to keep it. I'm actually going to, as soon as I'm done reading it, I'm going to delete it off of my Kobo, But just the idea that it would be on my Kobo is like... Anyways, so that is all I want to talk about. I may just go ahead and return book 6, or book 6, and just go ahead and see if I can download it and see if I can get it on my Kobo. And I will do a small video if I succeed in that particular endeavor. I'll see you guys hopefully in a little bit. Bye.